Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. This right here. This is the Ready, Set, Go preview show. This is the preview show that we do every single week on Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, except when I get the time wrong. But this is essentially when we come together and we talk about some current events, some topics that might be on my mind, some topics that might be on your mind. I give you a preview or a heads up on the content that is going to be coming out from the channel. We give away a cool slab. I show you another cool slab that is going to be given away. And then we ultimately, I think, consistently have a good time. And I want to welcome everybody to the Ready, Set, Go preview show. I look forward to this every single week. And we are going to dig into a couple of things over the course of this live stream. We're going to dig into my mistake. And we're going to also talk about COPPA, possibly not in that order. I think we're going to probably spend more time talking about my mistake than we will talking about COPPA, because there isn't a whole lot that I'm actually going to say about that. But we will have a good time, and then we're also going to give away a cool slab. So, a couple of people, Johnny Futures, like, I saw the thing 2 days ago. You actually put this up. I actually tried to get ahead of the schedule and put up the Ready, Set, Go preview show. Put it out there for people several days early so that everyone could have advance notice, right? So they could set those reminders and all that kind of stuff. And I did it a couple of days ago and put the wrong time up there. So that was definitely my bad. But I want to welcome everybody to the live stream. I'm glad you all were able to wait around for me. I know a couple of people left, and then some people are probably going to come back. But I heard that you guys were having a really robust conversation in here. So I want to give a huge shout out to Tina, one of the Patreon members who always keeps me on my toes. She monitors the chat in here with a couple of other folks, and then she always sends me messages anytime something's not quite right so that I can fix it. So I'm very appreciative for her, and also for all of the other Patreon members that support the channel. And again, several of them are actually here in the room. So let me say hello to some comic book soldiers, and then we'll go ahead and get started on this thing. Tina, start with you. I see you up in here. Comic Corpse is here. Bearded Comic Collector, Squirrel Madness, my brother Wayne McDonald from Canada. It's good to see you, brother. Johnny Future's in the house. Christopher is in the house. Harvey Abel is here. It's good to see you, brother. Havoc is also here. Scrolling down through the names here. Scrolling. You guys were having a robust conversation, and most of it actually was cut off. So I'm continuing to scroll through the names of the same four people over and over. Rob, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Welcome to the Ready, Set, Go preview show. Matt is here. How you doing? It is good to see you, my friend. As always, scrolling. You guys were on a roll. Greek Freak, how you doing? Connecting Comics. H Factor is here. Scrolling down through the names, I think Old School Comics is here. Sith AF, how you doing? Michael P. Rye, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Seth is also here. All right, so it is good to see you guys. And again, thank you for taking time out of your respective evenings to actually join me. So the first thing that I actually want to talk about is COPPA. And we're going to talk about this one very, very briefly. A lot of people have been reaching out to me over like the last 2 weeks, but definitely in the last week, and certainly in the last few days, kind of asking a lot of questions about what I'm going to do. My answer has been the same for everyone. I'm going to continue making videos because I am not a lawyer. I was married to one once, but I am not a lawyer. But based upon what I was reading, I wasn't all that concerned, to be honest with you. And I know that there were a lot of people that had a lot of clickbait titles across YouTube where they are basically saying channels are going to be going away. People are going to be fined $42,000. A lot of people, deleting their channels and not starting channels and all that kind of stuff. And I've just kind of continued to do my thing, and I figured that, again, based upon my interpretation of what I was hearing and reading from the FTC, I actually did not feel like much was going to change for me. And then I guess had some confirmation, and I actually want to pull this up for you guys right now. This is actually on the YouTube creators page. It's actually followed by 1.4 million people. But one of the most important things that I just want to highlight very quickly here is this section right here. It basically says, here are some important pieces we want to highlight, right? And this basically the preceding paragraph says we've seen a lot of questions around what exactly is made for kids content and if your content is directed to children. Today, which was 2 days ago, the FTC released more information to help YouTube creators decide if their content is made for kids or not. Here are some important pieces we want to highlight. What if children watch your video, but it is not meant to target kids? According to the FTC, your content isn't considered directed towards children just because some children may see it. So when I read that line, and again, I go back to some of the things that I read before, I take that to mean that I am not at risk because the content that I talk about on this channel is not directed towards kids. In fact, when you look at the demographics associated with my channel, I have no percent comes from those that are 13 and below, right? So again, the content, the topics, the things that we discuss here are not geared towards children. Some children may watch, right? I don't know that. Based upon my analytics, there are no children that watch under the age of 13, which is the limit for what a child actually is. And again, the topics, the things that we talk about here are not geared towards children. So again, I feel, yeah, there you go. I feel very comfortable with the way that the channel will continue to exist. And I'm not going to read into, the decision that people make to, to talk about COPPA and talk about, the fear and that kind of stuff. I'm going to stay away from it. I'm going to continue to make my videos and I'll let the rest of this stuff kind of take care of itself. So where's Matthew? Matthew is 15, thankfully. Matthew is 15 years old, which is great. And I'm not sure when he'll be 16, but for those that don't know, Matthew is an awesome kid. That comes that participates in a lot of our live streams. He's actually local to me. I actually met him at a con probably 3 or 4 months ago or something like that. Awesome young man. But he is 15. Thankfully, no children were harmed in the making of this content. So there you go. I want to give a huge shout out to everyone that actually completed my market research survey. Before going online, actually, or coming on live, I actually saw that there were about 165 people that had actually completed the survey. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a video that I released a few days ago in which I invited people to participate in some market research. And part of the reason why I'm doing it is I thought it would be cool to take a poll, basically, of the people out there that watch this channel. And even some that don't watch this channel, to find out what their interests are, what they're reading, how they think about themselves as either comic book collectors or comic book readers or omnibus readers or speculators. So it's a very brief survey that I wanted to do because I think that there could be some really cool observations from the data. And so I kind of scrolled through the data yesterday and it was some interesting stuff in there, but I'm not going to talk about it now. I'm going to give it probably another week of keeping the survey out there. If we can get to maybe 200 responses, I think that'll be a nice, robust number of people to be able to do a really cool video or two on the findings of the survey. So if you haven't yet done it, I definitely want to encourage you to check it out and actually complete the survey. So several people have. I saw a couple of people in here make the comment. I know a couple of people actually sent me messages when they took care of it. So I want to thank everybody for that. Super honorable nephew. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Give me one sec. Matt Wood says, I'm old too. I'm 47 and my son is 14. We're watching this together. Shout out to you, Matt Woods. And what is the name of your son? What's your boy's name? Your 14-year-old? Shout out his name. Almighty Liger King says, I'm turning 43 soon, so I should be safe. I don't know, brother. Some days, I don't know about you. Let me see if Matthew put up his son's name. I don't know if he wants a shout out for his son, but if he puts it up here, I'll try to shout it out here real quick. I'm only 19, but my niece just turned 46, says Hillbilly. Hillbilly won the I think he won one of the giveaways just recently. So shout out to you, brother. Shout out. The survey, it's actually a video. If you look, I want to say 3 days ago, 2 days ago, I can't remember. My memory with when videos get released is a little fuzzy. It basically says participate in my market research. And there's actually a chalkboard with a woman with a head that is a light bulb. I can remember the image, but not when the video was released. Yeah. So Victor's like, Reggie, your channel is G-rated. It is. It is. I actually purposefully do my videos and my content the way that I do so that I can have appeal to a broad audience. The video really isn't geared, the content is not geared towards children, but I don't want anyone to ever have to shut me off or to usher their kids out of the room because I'm choosing to talk about a topic or using language that might be offensive to children. And I do that very purposefully. As a father of 2 young children, I spend a tremendous amount of time trying to protect my own children from outside negative influences. Like, I don't curse around my children. I think that that's one of the worst things that could possibly happen as a parent, is when your child says a curse word. That is, in my opinion, this is Reggie's opinion, that's when you've kind of failed as a parent, you know? And my goal is to get my children through their childhood as innocent as possible, because the world is tough. Like, they will be prepared, but I want them to stay children and to enjoy having a childhood. My father actually said one thing to me when I had children. My father said to me, don't let anyone steal your children's joy. And it took me some time to fully appreciate what he meant by that statement, you know? And it has a very profound meaning when you really think about it, because, and for many reasons, right? And I'm not going to share all the reasons, but one of the things about a year later, after I thought about that, maybe a year and a half, as I continue to think about that, don't let anyone steal your children's joy, I realized that my father was also talking about us, my wife and I, as parents, because we too can actually steal our children's joy. And so my job is to get them from childhood to adulthood so that they can be contributing members of society. And yeah, that is Reggie's mission. And so my channel is definitely G-rated because I don't want to contribute to anyone else's child, having some negative influences in their life, you know? So scrolling down, Jason says, I'm 46 and my 13-year-old son will occasionally watch. There we go. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Just don't let him show up in my metrics. My channel is geared for you, Jason, at 46 years of age. I turned 50 on the 1st. My wife says I act like I'm 5. That's what's up, Scott. There you go. Hey, Scott's here. Shout out to you, brother. My man, Scott. Let's give Scott a shout out. Scott hooked this up. This is his design, the comic book soldier. He did this design. He killed it. This shirt is incredible. I absolutely love this shirt. I actually wore one yesterday. So shout out to you, brother, as a 5-year-old, you are incredibly talented, sir. I salute you. I salute you. So shout out to you, brother. I definitely appreciate all your assistance with doing those designs for me, because you absolutely killed it. So scrolling down through the names. Thank you. Thank you, brother. I definitely appreciate that. What is this? Great advice. Use more people, brother. I'm trying. I try. You know, the thing is, I absolutely don't get it right all the time, but I definitely try. The hard part is when Andrew, brother, the goal is to never feel like an adult. You know what I'm saying? That is the goal, to never quite feel like an adult if you can help it. So what is this, Reggie? You just took John's spot as number 1. Yeah, no, John, man, is incredible, man. He's talking about John's Comics with Kids. He's a teacher I think he's at a private school, and he has 2 really, really wonderful children that he does a show with on Saturday mornings around 7:30, 8 o'clock ish. And John is a really, really good guy. And I think, like all of us, trying to be the best father, best parent, best husband, best comic book collector that he can possibly be, and in some semblance of an order there. So, all right, so let's talk about my mistake. I want to talk about the mistake that I made And here's the thing. I did not think that I was actually going to do this. And I tried to resist it. I tried to avoid it. But you guys kept talking about some things, and I had a little bit of time this today, and I made the jump. I made the jump, and I made the mistake of watching The Mandalorian. I made the mistake of watching The Mandalorian. This show is incredible. I'm gonna just say it. The Mandalorian is dope. I wrote it down. I think it was at, oh man, I actually left my notes in the full notes in the other room. I think it might have been at 3 minutes and 24 seconds. 3 minutes and 24 seconds into The Mandalorian, season 1, episode 1, I was hooked. And I'm not going to ruin it for you, but I will tell you that The Mandalorian is incredibly good. I watched all 3 seasons back to back. I would pause it. I would go talk to my children. I do a couple of things out there. I come back here in the room. I watch it a little longer. I pause it. I go out there. I feed my children. The Mandalorian is a really, really good show on Disney Plus. I was resistant to watching it because of the fact that I felt like I am not in Star Wars. I felt like I'm not a Star Wars guy. I'm a Star Trek fan, right? And so I felt like I would not have a foundation upon which to actually watch this show. And I was resistant, right? And several of you were like, you got to watch it. It's really good. Give it a chance, right? You know, give it a chance. You might actually like it. I had some time. I actually watched it. And Chris Barrett's like, it's been out 3 weeks. Just go ahead and spoil it. No, there's a lot of people that haven't watched it. And it was really, really good. It was action packed. There was a little bit of like dry wit to it. It wasn't funny, but it was like dry wit, like a dry sense of humor. And I enjoyed that. And it was one of those things where you didn't have to have the foundation in Star Wars to really understand The Mandalorian. And that was part of my perception, was that I'm like, okay, so this is the prequel, the post, whatever, to all the movies. And I'm going to be lost because I haven't watched any of that. None of it. I haven't watched any of it. And so I felt like I was going to be lost. That was not the case, right? It was enjoyable, even for someone that has not seen any of that stuff. But I will tell you, at least this is my feeling. And you guys tell me, my feeling is that if you are a Star Wars fan, you probably get more out of it than someone who isn't. But both people, both groups, both camps can actually enjoy it, because there were some things in there that I'm watching. I'm like, I know that has some significance, but it's lost on me. And I feel like it's one of those things, like with the Marvel movies, as a comic book nerd, right? If I go to a Marvel movie, there are things that I'm going to get beyond what is actually being seen and appreciated by the average general audience. That was how I felt. I felt like I was out of the know, but I still enjoyed it. So I want to scroll up here to see what I missed. Randy, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Heck yeah, I enjoyed it better than the past 5 Star Wars movies, says Sully to King. Someone was saying that this is no mistake, and I'm guessing, yeah, I think what you're talking about is the fact that it's not, that it's built upon Star Wars, but it's not heavily influenced, if you will, by Star Wars, if that actually makes sense. And then Mando, Havoc says, Mando is dope. I'm telling you, it is cool. IG-11 is that bounty hunter droid. I don't want to ruin it. Hey, that bounty hunter droid was dope, though. Yeah, the droid was impressive. I mean, my man, did you see him? He was shooting behind his back. It was quite impressive. So here's the thing. One, there were several moments in this thing that I really enjoyed. There were several moments. And I want to give a shout out to Johnny Future. Hopefully Johnny Future is still watching. Johnny Future and we talk a couple of times, probably a day, couple of times a day. He'll send me a message. We'll have a little bit of back and forth. I dig Johnny Future, and he got a shout out from Comic Tom earlier this week for a sneaky first appearance that he and I talked about a couple of weeks ago. And I was thinking about Johnny Future earlier today because of the fact that Action Jackson, Carl Weathers makes an appearance in The Mandalorian. And when I saw him, I was like, Johnny Future. Why did I think Johnny Future? Because Johnny Future hooked me up with this right here. This is Creed 2, and it is actually signed. It is signed by Mr. Carl Weathers himself. And I think Johnny sent this to me for my birthday. I want to say I've actually kept this thing in a box down here by my ankle. He actually sent it over to me. I haven't even watched the movie. Haven't watched the movie yet, but I've been holding on to this. And so that's why I thought about Johnny Future, because Action Jackson was actually in this. And back in the day, Action Jackson was the man. I remember watching that show. I loved Carl Weathers when he was in Predator. I loved him in his own show, Action Jackson. And then he was in a lot of the Rocky stuff. And I definitely enjoyed that. Super talented dude. Definitely enjoyed him. And so that was one of the most pleasant surprises from The Mandalorian for me, was the fact that Action Jackson was in there. I enjoyed that. The other part, and someone actually shot Jerry. There he is. There he is, Creed. There he is. And so the other part, and someone said it here. I'm trying to find it if I can locate it. Someone was talking about Yoda. Somebody was talking about Yoda. There is a baby Yoda in this, and that was something that I did not know. I did not know that there was a baby Yoda in there. So I definitely enjoyed that. He's incredibly cute little baby Yoda. But if you haven't seen The Mandalorian, I definitely want to encourage you to watch it. It was really good. Does anybody know when the next is, like episode 4? Does anybody know when episode 4 is coming out? I don't know anything about how this thing is actually being released. So if anybody can help me out with that, I definitely appreciate it. Regie with the Apollo Creed signature. I grew up on Rocky. Man, John, you need to be friends with Johnny Future. Johnny Future sends some dope gifts. I mean, he sent the movie, which is cool, but he sent Carl Weathers, man. He hooked it up. And like I said, I think this was actually for my birthday that he actually sent this over to me. And I tell you, when I say that I have some of the best subscribers around, that is not an exaggeration. You guys are awesome. You guys really are awesome. So a couple of people here is it Greek Freak is like, what Marvel Studios Disney Plus shows are you all most excited about? So if anybody, next Friday, there we go. Every Friday. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. It's actually, so here's the thing. I spent some time bouncing back and forth between Hulu, Netflix, Disney, Apple Plus, Prime, and did I say Netflix? So I have all of those. So I spent time bouncing back and forth. And I'm going to be honest with you, I can't keep any of that stuff straight. It's all a mess. I think C is over. I was enjoying C. I think C is over for the season. I enjoyed, what is it? Good Morning, that show, or Morning, that show is dope. With Adam Carell, that show is incredible. And now the reason that I'm really mad at Johnny Future, the reason I'm really mad at all of you guys is because now I have yet another show to watch every Friday night. That being The Mandalorian. So let me go ahead and close this window out and go back full screen. So I will try to watch Apollo Creed or Creed 2, because I actually think it's on one of those 6 services that I just mentioned, or 5 services, whatever the heck it was. I think it's actually out now. So I may end up watching it. The only DVD player that we have in the house is in my kids' TV room, which is like a hot mess. It's like where Toys R Us went to die, literally. So we are not going to roll in there. Scrolling down. I think I did see Creed 1. I have not yet seen Creed 2, so I'm definitely going to try to check that out. Mandalorians were part of the Star Wars universe. Oh, where did chat go? Outside of the Empire Rebellion, which fans loved, and lots of fan fiction. Man, his uniform is incredible. Like I feel like now I want to know more about the Mandalorian, or I should say the Mandalorians, right? Man, and again, I don't want to ruin it for anybody that hasn't watched it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And what was also cool is that I realized that this thing was written, created, and produced by Jon Favreau. Jon Favreau of Marvel Studios, well, of a lot of things, including Marvel Studios. But I did not know that until I got to the very end credits and saw that he wrote it. Then there was another credit said he created it. Then there was another credit said that he produced it. So Jon Favreau is definitely making some magic happen here with The Mandalorian. And they also then had that call to action, if you will, basically that it was based on Star Wars. And so again, just a really, really good show. Very pleased with everything by and large that I've actually seen on Disney Plus so far. I'm enjoying a lot of it. Silver Surfer stuff, I'm enjoying. The X-Men animated series, I'm enjoying. Now The Mandalorian, just really, really solid content. And so someone asked a question a few moments ago, what I'm looking forward to most, or really what you all are looking forward to most. So if you guys want to shout some of that stuff out, scrolling down through the comments here, check out Star Wars 68. Write myself a note. If you got, what are you guys looking forward to most seeing with the new Disney Plus stuff that is going to be dropping? I think it's like 6 shows. Which 6 are you guys most interested in? Star Wars, what was that number? 68. See, I was about to make a statement. My statement was I'm not buying any Star Wars comics, and I'm not even going to say it because I'm gonna mess around and probably buy a Star Wars comic, you know. I say, what is it? Favreau is a huge Star Wars guy, knew he wouldn't do wrong. He did not. He delivered. And again, I think part of it is if you can make a show that is based upon something as old as Star Wars, but make it feel really fresh and then make it appeal to people that aren't even fans of Star Wars, you're kind of doing something right. You know what I'm saying? You're kind of doing something right, because at the end of the day, you need to appeal to more people than just that core. I mean, you still want to deliver something that the core appreciates, but if you can reach extra people, I felt like this was just a fresh show with like no back history, and I enjoyed it. I really did. So shout out to Jon Favreau for making some magic happen. Sadly, most of this lives outside of the canon of the main movies. Yeah, brother, I take it as I get it. You know, I probably, and I'm saying this now and I'll probably watch it, but I haven't seen any of the movies, right? So to me, it's just super, super awesome. Or 42 for the Bounty Hunnies, says Rob. Bounty Hunters, number 42. So I guess 68 or 42. Scrolling down through some of the comments here. Here we go. Old school. All right, wait a minute. Hold on. So here we go. Seth says, you open Pandora's box. Just dive right in. I mean, here's the thing. Is I to some degree or another try to practice the philosophy of receptive and responsive, right? I try to be receptive to other people's opinions and ideas and suggestions and thoughts, and I try to be responsive. You send me a message, you make a comment, you get a response, right? And so in the spirit of being receptive and responsive, you have to keep an open mind about things. And because you keep an open mind about things, you often find things that you were hesitant to appreciate or hesitant to get on board with. You actually find out that they're actually good, like Flash and Batman. And I read some Superman even, and it's like, it's not bad. Like, I'm not going out of my way to get those things, but I'm still trying to be, open to different things. And so I'm enjoying myself, and hopefully everybody knows that, what is this? So I asked the question about what folks were looking forward to. So Brandon's like Moon Knight. I still want to know what's going on with the Marvel animated series shows like Howard the Duck. Yeah, I don't know, brother. That's beyond me. I haven't looked into that one at all. So Chris is saying Miss Marvel. Old school comics is saying Moon Knight and the Falcon Winter Soldier. I think those are going to be probably pretty good. I would probably say that. Mandalorian. What is this? Mandalorian episode 3 director. Scrolling down. Oh, there's a super honorable nephew. What is he saying? Want to see that She-Hulk. Interested to see how she. The thing that is going to be interesting, how they're going to do that, because I don't know her dimensions, but she's taller than your average woman, right? And so it's going to be interesting to see how they make that work. I don't even know what the current technology is now. I don't even think it's CGI anymore, but I'm sure that they're going to come up with something really good, but I'm hoping that this show and all the good shows, I'm hoping that they're really good. And part of me thinks that maybe they'll do this similar to how they did Daredevil, where he was, a lawyer during the day and then he was, a vigilante at night. So maybe they'll do something similar to that. Who knows? Who knows? But does anybody know when these shows are dropping? Because that's the other part. Does anybody know when the Disney streaming stuff is actually going to drop, all of these new shows? So scrolling down through some of the comments here, what is this? Bearded says just picked up a high grade copy of Moon Knight #1 for his son. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. I'm sure he'll enjoy that. The Boy season 1 was dope. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing season 2. I hope. Jeremy, you're a nut. You're a nut. Bro, back in the day, Lou Ferrigno was the man, right? Until you realize that that was just a big dude with green body paint, and then it was less impressive. But that just shows you how far TV has come, because that's what I got to watch on TV. That's exactly what I watched, was Lou Ferrigno with green paint, so I have a feeling it's going to be much, much better than that. I think, are they doing the WandaVision show in the form of like they can't do that. I was about to say the Vision family, but that wasn't Wanda. I think his wife was also an android. But I watched something that led me to believe that it was going to be like part sitcom and part superhero stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how they actually play that one out. It's going to be interesting. Comic Collection Agency, how you doing, brother? It's definitely good to see you. We're going to need a Disney TV guy. We're going to need a TV guy for everything, because I cannot keep all of these streaming services straight. I'm going to be honest with you. All right, so we're going to keep this thing. Man, what is this? Have you seen Shameless She-Hulk? I have not. Johnny Future, I am not watching Cobra Kai. I'm not watching Cobra Kai, but I might look this one up. What is it? Shamelessly She-Hulk. Is this appropriate for children? I mean, looking at some crazy stuff on my computer. Don't do that to me. Joking. All right. So we're going to go ahead and keep this thing moving forward. I did. There he is. The youngest member of the Regie Collects community. Here he is, Matthew, 15 years of age, not 13. He is not a child. I actually walked right past him. I actually shot some video. If you go back, I think, and if you watch my video from the Silicon Valley Comic-Con, there was some footage that I shot towards the end where I was walking towards where the talent were basically signing autographs. And I shot Deadpool. Deadpool was on my right-hand side as I was shooting, and Lou Ferrigno was 2 feet from Deadpool. And I actually did not get Lou Ferrigno on camera because I've heard that he does not like it when you take photos or video of him. He wants to be paid for being, for his likeness. And so I purposefully did not shoot him. But if you go back and watch that video from the Silicon Valley Comic-Con, you will see the Deadpool, and 2 feet from him was Lou Ferrigno actually signing some signatures. So, all right, Louis, there's another super chat that just popped in here from Andrew. Thank you for that, brother. I did not read that. It says it's super dope, came out. Let me write myself a note because I haven't been to a comic shop, and I didn't go this week at all. Let me write this down. Philadelphia. Write it down, see if I can find it. Who was it? Johnny Future got me to get Basket Full of Heads or something like that. Who I think is the son of Stephen King. At least that's what somebody told me. So I'm trying to expand my horizons. But thank you very much for the super chat, Andrew. I definitely appreciate that. Definitely appreciate all of the super chats, all the Patreon members, all of the folks that send AOKs. All of that stuff helps. And I'm gonna tell you, I spent a portion of my day actually working on something really cool. I spent a portion of my day working, yes, on videos, but also on some other really cool things that I hope to announce to you guys in maybe the next week and a half. There have been some things that I've been doing that like little shortcuts for some things, and there was a more proper way to do it. And my wife forced me to do it the more proper way today, and I kind of jumped into it with both feet. So I know I'm being super cryptic right now, but because I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, there are some things that I'm working on two fronts right now that are going to be cool. I think they're going to be cool. So I'm definitely pumped about them. And I'll probably drop some secrets or some hints to Patreon members at some point in the next couple of days. But yeah, all of the super chats and all this stuff goes a long way to actually helping the channel. So I definitely want to say thank you for that. So let me give you guys a heads up as to what's going to be coming out from the channel for this week. And then we are going to actually give away this book right here, a really cool book, Marvel 2-in-1 Annual Number 7. Really cool book. So we're going to give this away. And then I'm also going to preview for you guys the next book that is actually going to be given away this upcoming week. So the videos that I'm going to be dropping, this first one is one that was inspired by many people that have actually asked me the question around, let me get the question around this right here. So in one of the videos this week, I'm actually going to be telling you why I use blue painter's tape. And I actually get this question a fair bit, and it told me that I needed to record a video to explain it to people. And then in the future, if people have the question, because they probably will, I will just direct people to that video. So it'll serve a lot of purposes. So there's another video. I got wild and crazy with my wife on a Saturday. And so I'm actually going to be releasing a video so that you guys can see some of the crazy stuff that we do on the weekends. And we had a day date. And so we spent some time together, had some fun. There's some bloopers, there's some laughs in there. So I think you guys will enjoy that. So definitely stay tuned for that video. There is a hunting video. I'm doing a Silver Age hunt. So that'll be out. Another video, irregular comics in my collection. You guys heard me talk. I say this a lot in certain live streams and certain videos and things like that, where I talk about the books or the bins that are at my ankles. There is one bin in particular that I actually cracked open, and I show you the contents of that bin. And they're comics and comic related things that are like irregular and different from a traditional comic. And so I think it's going to be a fun video. I think you're going to enjoy it. It's set up a little bit different from a lot of videos. So at a minimum, it should grab your attention. And then I'm also going to be unboxing a statue. There was a statue that found its way here. I'm actually going to be unboxing that statue. So stay tuned for that. A couple of cool videos. So there's the 5 videos that are going to be coming out this week. I actually dropped a bonus podcast on Saturday, I want to say. There was somebody reached out to me and they said, "Hey, Reg, you are not on Spotify, right? You said you are on a lot of the platforms." And they're like, "You're not on Spotify." So I looked into it. Come to find out, Spotify only makes your video, your podcast live if they are in MP3 format. I convert my podcast to MP4. So I have, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 podcasts that are all MP4 that no one on Spotify can actually see. So I wanted to test it out. I converted. Well, I had to buy an app. I converted a video to MP3. I uploaded it, and then it popped up on Spotify. So if you happen to be on Spotify, if you search for Regie Collects, you should be able to find me now. And again, you have my apologies. I did not know. I assumed that we were good. I actually reached out to their tech support, and they're like, "Yeah, you're all set up, but your files are on the wrong format." And so they were like, "It's not a big deal. Just reach out to your data aggregator." And my data aggregator is like, "Yeah, you uploaded the files in MP4. There's nothing we can do for MP3. So a lot of old vlogs out there that no one on Spotify will hear, because I would have to convert them all and move them over. It's a bit of a nightmare. So, all right. Enough about that. So let's go ahead and what does it say? Seth says, "I love the podcast on the Comic Crash." That was cool. It was cool. It was a cool, with a lot of these, I do the vlog version for YouTube, so that people that like YouTube can see it, hear it here, even though it's a static image. And then for those that like things on the go, they can actually check it out over there for the podcast. So, I have fun with all this stuff, and it's really nice when people actually enjoy the content. So I appreciate that. What does it say? Rob says, "For your future star." I'm gonna spend it on Spider-Man. No, Rob, thank you, bro. That's I cannot promise that it's actually going to be Star Wars, but maybe it'll be Star Wars 68 or 42 that people have told me about today. But no, I definitely appreciate the super chat, brother. Thank you. I definitely appreciate all that stuff. So thank you. All right. Let's get to this giveaway. Let's go. So here's the book. For those that don't know, this is the book that we're actually going to be giving away this week, tonight. If you are the recipient of this particular book, you definitely want to send me an email to REGIECOLLECTS@gmail.com, giving me your screen name, your government name, and then also your preference, because you're not only going to get that slab, you're not only going to get this exclusive variant from Go Collect, which is a really cool book, but you're also going to get your option of a t-shirt or a stylus. The t-shirt only comes in large and extra large, and I'm actually getting a little low on the t-shirts because most people opt for this. It is actually a nice t-shirt. It's not as nice as my t-shirts, but it's a nice t-shirt. But again, it's a large and extra large. You just have to let me know what your preference is, whether you want the shirt or whether you want the stylus. Either way, I will get it bundled up and get it sent out to you tonight. And on that note, no, we're going to talk about that later. I'll get it all bundled up for you guys. So let me go ahead and what is this? Yay, it's giveaway time. Who is that says, I know that I won Star Wars? Invest in some Ewok books. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. I spend enough money on comics, let me tell you. All right. So we're going to take a look first at the list of names. I want to say that I posted this list of names up around 7:30 or so this morning. So these are all the individuals that were able to successfully enter this week's Go Collect giveaway. And again, a huge shout out to the folks over at Go Collect who have actually been providing me with books to give away for the last 40 some odd weeks. These guys are awesome. I enjoy working with them, and hopeful that we'll be able to continue our relationship into 2020. We have still several weeks to go before we have to deal with that kind of stuff, but just an awesome sponsor that I've enjoyed working with. So here are all the names of folks. And we're going to pop out here. We're going to roll some dice, and we're going to figure out how many times we are actually going to have to randomize this thing. I see everyone giving folks good lucks and lucky charms. So we have rolled 6. We are going to randomize this list a total of 6 times, and then we are going to give this book away to one lucky subscriber here on the channel. So we're going to go back to the list, and we're going to randomize this thing a total of 6 times. So that is 1. Scrolling down to the bottom here, that is 2. Scrolling down, here is 3. Here is 4, 5, and the winner. I just saw Cuz Buzz. Oh man, Cuz Buzz. The winner of this week's Go Collect giveaway is John. John, you are the winner of this week's Go Collect giveaway. John, please send me an email to regiecollects@gmail.com so you can claim your prize. If you do it tonight, I will absolutely get this book in the mail to you tomorrow. You send me an email to regiecollects@gmail.com, letting me know your preference for the shirt or the stylus. The shirt only comes in large and extra large. So just let me know what you want. I will get it bundled up and sent out to you. But congratulations, John. Congratulations to everyone else that was able to successfully enter this week's giveaway, because you never know. You never know which week is going to be your week. So I want to say thanks to everyone who took the time to watch the videos over the course of this week. I'm glad you guys were able to successfully enter the giveaway. And my hope is that in the future, one of these books will be yours. So let me go ahead and show the book that is actually going to be given away this week. So a lot of people even still ask me how to enter the Go Collect giveaway. And I think that's because the channel continues to grow, right? So I think that's not a bad thing. But if you are watching this right now, it's relatively straightforward. In one of the videos that gets released Monday through Friday, there is a segment of that video in which I tell you a phrase. Once you have that phrase, you head over to the community tab, you find the post. It's a written post, and there is a link to MailChimp. You click that link, you plug in 3 pieces of information. One piece of that information is the phrase that you would need from the video. The post for the MailChimp link, the post for the book that is going to be given away goes up either tonight or tomorrow. It depends on what I have to do following the live stream, but the post is always posted up on Sunday night or Monday because the video comes out sometime between Monday and Friday. And consistently, I think we've been able to do that with maybe a miss here or there because of scheduling, but it's relatively straightforward to enter the contest. And if you forget, you can always just replay any of the any of the Ready, Set, Go preview shows, or you can search for Regie Collects Go Collect. And there is a video that I've created with all of the details on how you enter the contest. All right. So the book that is going to be given away this week is this one right here. It's an X-Men book. And it is a 9.8. It is X-Men number 127. It is a Chris Claremont story. It is a John Byrne and Terry Austin cover and interior art. And it is a Proteus appearance. And it's also a newsstand. So a Proteus appearance and also a newsstand. It has the classic team of John Byrne and Chris Claremont and also some Terry Austin in there. It's a 9.8 white pages. So you cannot go wrong with that. So I'm actually going to pop over to Go Collect right now so I can actually show you all what's the price of this book, the current FMV associated with this X-Men number 127. Yep, just had to confirm the number. So we're going to type this in, X-Men 127. So we're going to look up this price really quick on this book and see what the FMV happens to be. Click the link and I think we can pretty much see it right there, but we need to confirm by going to the page. So this is a 9.8 with white pages. And there you go. We have an FMV, a fair market value of $160. And if you pop the window, you can actually see that the book has been going for $157, $159, $189, $280. Wow, that's a big price right there. $118, $199. I mean, it's consistently been at about that $160 with some data that actually supports it. So I think that's a really, really good sign for this book. It is a Proteus appearance. And yeah, so there you go. Pretty cool book. This is the one that's going to be given away this week. All you have to do is to, again, stay tuned to the channel, watch the videos that come out over the course of the week, find the phrase, and then you plug that phrase in. It's relatively straightforward to be able to enter this week's Go Collect giveaway. So what does it say? Oh my goodness, you guys are hilarious. I absolutely enjoy you guys. All right, so I think there's may actually be a lag on some of the comments because it seems to be a little behind. Yeah, I'm about 5 minutes behind on my comments. So something's not quite right on the live stream here. So hopefully it kind of comes through here. What is this? Jason. So we just caught up here. So Jason says, still in search of a beater copy of Giant Size X-Men. So if you guys know, if anybody knows, if anyone's selling a Giant Size X-Men beater copy, I'm guessing like maybe 3.0, 2.0, it's that kind of range. Hit up Jason and let him know what's up. Tina's like, Go Collect is awesome. They are. And if you actually want to sign up for Go Collect, they actually have a promotion in place right now. If you use the code Regie1219, you can actually get a 30-day free membership on Go Collect. It is Regie1219. When you go to register on the site, you can actually get you plug in that code when you register and it gives you 30 days free access. So there you go. Johnny Future's like, you can't win if you don't play. Well said. Oh, Seth, I'm gonna tell you, brother, you can guess it, but you're not gonna get it. You're not going to get it. Squirrel Man, it's good night, bro. It's good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Thank you for hanging out with me. I definitely enjoyed you. Scrolling through the comments here. Scrolling through. Password is Brody's. That's still funny. Scrolling through. All right. Tom Garcia is like, the password is mutant threat. Is that what it said on there? No, there's no mutant threat. It might be like Proteus or Storm or something like that. And so if you guys were watching, actually put this corner right here. Put this corner right here on Instagram and basically gave a preview of what this book was. And I think there was one person that actually guessed what it was, but he actually did the awesome thing. He's like, I know what it is basically, but I'm not going to post it. Cause the last thing you want is someone to like ruin the fun. Like, we're trying to have fun, you know? And so the guy was like, nope, I'm not that kind of guy. But if you follow me on Instagram at Reggie Collects, on Instagram, you oftentimes see just some behind the scenes stuff, some little video clips. I talk to you guys where I do Q&A and that kind of stuff. So if you're not following me on Instagram, you definitely want to check me out over there. All right, so we are going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. I want to thank you all for hanging out with me tonight. I enjoyed myself. I hope you did as well. Thank you very much to all of the Patreon members. Thank you to all the folks that drop super chats. I really do appreciate all that stuff. And again, it goes a long way to helping me to offset some of the costs that we have associated with the channel, because there are costs and because I'm trying to do some different stuff. And in a couple of weeks, you guys will probably see more of what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah, one update before I wrap this up. Huge shout out again to my man Scott for hooking me up with this really dope design for this t-shirt. This is the comic book soldier t-shirt. All of the folks that actually pre-order t-shirts, I have you all on my board up here. All of the shirts have actually been packaged up. We packaged them up in these really nice things. If you get a shirt and your shirt does not look nice and neat like this, it meant that I actually put your shirt in a bag versus my wife. My wife has a skill for this. I do not. So a couple of them just, sorry, they're gonna be really bad because I cannot fold a shirt to save my life. But all of the shirts were placed in these bags right here, and then they were placed inside of another white bag to protect it with a label on it. And there are some extra giveaways inside of the bags. I randomly placed a couple of little things inside of a couple of the bags. So just as a thank you to people that picked up the shirts, because again, it's a way to support the channel. And I want to say thank you to all of you. And again, you have my apologies for the delay in getting the shirts out to you. I am thinking about doing things a little bit differently in the future to prevent any kind of delay between when you give me your money and when your stuff arrives. So bear with me as I continue to work towards those things. All right. So again, thank you guys for hanging out with me. If you need to reach out to me, feel free to do so at Regie Collects on Instagram and regiecollects@gmail.com. If you need me, I am not too hard to find. Take care.